It's the kind of twist no one expected. Enigma wrapped in silence, now unraveling in full view of the world. Keanu Reeves, the Hollywood icon known for his calm exterior and unshakable humility, has found himself caught in a whirlwind of speculation. Fans are whispering, tabloids are stirring, and social media is in overdrive. What just happened to Keanu has left even the most seasoned followers stunned. This isn't about a film premiere or another red carpet moment. It's deeper, more personal, and shockingly real. The question echoing through Hollywood: has the most grounded man in showbiz been hiding a storm behind that serene smile? This isn't the first time Reeves has been ambushed by life's unexpected turns. Beneath the zen-like presence and iconic film roles lies a pattern, one of unrelenting challenges met with unbreakable composure. Years ago, in 2008, a photographer named Alison Silva accused him of causing a car accident that allegedly ended his career. The media pounced, hoping for scandal, but Keanu did something rare. Didn't lash out. He didn't defend himself in the press. Instead, he showed up in court, quietly letting the evidence unfold. Surveillance footage cleared him. The case collapsed. But the grace with which Keanu walked away was what truly turned heads. It was a reminder that strength sometimes looks like silence. Then came another bizarre chapter. In 2009, a woman from Canada, Karen Salah, claimed Keanu was the father of her 4 children and demanded millions in support. With no evidence, it could have been dismissed outright. Keanu, always calm and dignified, took a DNA test to silence the noise. The results were conclusive. He wasn't the father, and yet, the emotional weight lingered. The fame he never chased was now a magnet for lawsuits, rumors, and betrayal. It wasn't just about the truth anymore. It was about how one man could remain centered while the world tried to unbalance him. For a time, even Hollywood itself doubted him. In the early 1990s, after roles in Johnny Mnemonic and Bram Stoker's Dracula, critics were unimpressed. They called his acting wooden, said he lacked depth, but he didn't fire back. He quietly studied, improved, and waited. When The Matrix hit theaters in 1999, everything changed. As Neo, he delivered not just action, but presence. Mystery, soul, and rebellion rolled into one. The role reshaped sci-fi forever and proved his doubters wrong. And then came John Wick, a franchise that turned him into a cultural icon all over again. But what makes Keanu truly unforgettable isn't just his acting. It's the mystery of his private world, the contrast between global fame and quiet living. The internet clings to images of him riding the subway, eating alone, wearing old boots. People call him modest, even frugal. But here's the twist: Keanu isn't cheap. He's intentional. With a net worth estimated at over $380 million, he's never flaunted his wealth. But his portfolio tells a different story. Behind the scenes, he's owned rare motorcycles like Custom Arch Bikes, a company he co-founded. His car collection includes a Porsche 911, a 1973 Norton Commando, and a sleek Mercedes-Benz GLE. On his wrist, he's often seen wearing a Carl F. Bucherer Monero Auto Date, a high-end timepiece with timeless style. His real estate holdings have also drawn attention, especially his $5.6 million mansion in the Hollywood Hills, an architectural gem surrounded by lush gardens and privacy gates. While many celebrities chase more, Keanu invests in peace. There are also whispers of a private jet, not because he needs the luxury, but because time matters to him. He values efficiency over extravagance. And when it comes to business, Keanu doesn't just show up for paychecks. His stake in Arch Motorcycle Company showcases his hands-on entrepreneurial spirit. He's collaborated with companies like Squarespace and joined forces with artists and engineers alike. This isn't about endorsements. It's about building things that last. Most people never hear about the insurance. In an industry filled with physical risk and emotional volatility, Keanu has protected his future with precision. Health coverage, liability policies, and film completion bonds have shielded both him and the productions he joins. He's also known to invest in asset insurance, covering the rare vehicles and vintage motorcycles he collects. Every decision reflects his approach. Prepare for the storm, but never show the fear. And then there's his philanthropy. He's donated millions, quietly, to children's hospitals and cancer foundations. He reportedly set up a private fund to support crew members and families affected by serious illness, inspired by personal loss. That's Keanu. He doesn't seek credit, but his legacy is built in the lives he uplifts. There's a lesson here, one we don't often hear from Hollywood. You don't need to broadcast your worth to be valuable. You don't need to retaliate to be strong. Keanu Reeves built an empire not by dominating headlines, but by choosing humility in the face of chaos. He teaches us that wealth isn't just what you own, it's how you carry it. When fans saw the headlines recently, rumors of something shocking happening to him, they leaned in closer. The silence spoke louder than any press release. Was it health? A new secret project? Or something heartbreakingly personal? Mystery hangs in the air, inviting questions, but demanding patience. In true Keanu fashion, he hasn't rushed to explain. But the intrigue, it's only deepened. Every time he's been pushed to the edge, he's returned more composed, stronger, more layered. From courtroom battles to career reinventions, he's played the long game. Keanu Reeves is no longer just an actor. He's a blueprint for how to endure in a world that thrives on spectacle. He was Hollywood's most reluctant heartthrob. And yet, there he was, racing through the corners of Indianapolis at 60, trading red carpets for racetracks. Keanu Reeves, forever the enigma, has made a life out of quiet contradictions. Others chased headlines. Keanu mastered the art of understatement. Until now. Because what's emerging isn't just a new chapter, it's a revelation. The man who built his legend in silence is finally making noise, and we're all listening. After decades defined by grief, Keanu's slow return to love with artist Alexandra Grant felt like a gentle rebellion against fate. It wasn't about publicity. It was about connection, the kind that grows not from glitz, but from scars. Their relationship, first rooted in creativity, unfolded like a slow-burning novel. Fans weren't just supportive, they were invested. After all, we had watched Keanu survive the unthinkable. Seeing him love again felt like witnessing hope rise from the ashes. But even as his heart opened, Keanu stayed true to his core. Deeply spiritual, almost monastic in his lifestyle. No flashy headlines, no outlandish controversies, just art, introspection, and the occasional surprising confession. In 2024, Keanu shocked fans during a rare interview by admitting, "I think about death all the time." The world leaned in, not because it was grim, but because it was real. Mortality wasn't a fear for him, it was fuel. That clarity of purpose explains why Keanu doesn't just act, he creates. His foray into writing with Alexandra Grant was more than a vanity project. It was an extension of a mind constantly searching for meaning. But even his intellectual side has a counterpart. That same year, he roared into the motorsports world, not to win, but to feel alive. Competing in the Toyota GR Cup at the legendary Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Keanu placed 25th and 24th, but the finish line was never the point. For a man who's buried so much pain, speed offered a rare moment of release. And if you're wondering how he affords this balance of art, adrenaline, and anonymity, it's time we talk about Keanu's finances. Yet though he may be, his wealth is anything but modest. Over a career spanning 4 decades, Keanu has carefully built a financial empire rooted in smart decisions and an almost allergic avoidance of Hollywood excess. His current net worth is estimated at $400 million, a staggering figure for someone who once gave away most of his earnings from the Matrix sequels to the special effects and costume departments. That gesture alone is rumored to have cost him $75 million, but it won him a place in Hollywood lore, not as a star, but as a legend. And that's just the beginning. Keanu's real estate portfolio tells a story of quiet luxury. His crown jewel, $7.2 million Japanese-inspired compound nestled in the Hollywood Hills. Minimalist in design, but rich in serenity. It's a mirror of his soul, private, peaceful, and deeply personal. He also owns a spacious loft in Manhattan's trendy Tribeca district, purchased for $4 million. But unlike other celebrities who flaunt their square footage, Keanu rarely even hosts guests. These homes are sanctuaries, not showrooms. He's equally restrained when it comes to cars. though that doesn't mean he lacks taste. A proud gearhead, Keanu's garage boasts a carefully curated collection, including a sleek black Porsche 911 Carrera, a Norton Commando 850, and several custom Arch motorcycles, built by his own company, Arch Motorcycle, co-founded in 2011. That venture, like much of Keanu's life, started not with profit in mind, but passion. While he doesn't wear his wealth, a closer look reveals layers of understated elegance. On his wrist, you might spot a Jaeger LeCoultre Reverso or a Rolex Submariner, both classic, both timeless, just like the man himself. There are whispers of private jet shares, likely fractional ownership through NetJets, which he uses for efficient travel across filming locations and charity engagements, always avoiding the media fanfare that follows most celebrities in flight. But the most powerful part of Keanu's story isn't what he's bought, it's what he's given. Beneath the stoic exterior is a man quietly redefining philanthropy in Hollywood. After his sister Kim's battle with leukemia, Keanu established a private cancer foundation, choosing anonymity over acclaim. It funds children's hospitals and research initiatives. Yet to this day, most of the recipients don't even know who's behind the grants. That's how he wants it. "Money is the last thing I think about," he once said. In 2020, he volunteered at Camp Rainbow Gold in Idaho, working directly with children facing life-threatening illness. No cameras, no interviews, just presence. And still, the world finds him fascinating, perhaps because his kindness feels so radical in an age of curated chaos. In a viral moment that year, Keanu was seen helping a stranded traveler at LAX, loading bags, calling ride shares, waiting until help arrived. A small act, but it lit up the internet like wildfire. Why? Because in a culture addicted to spectacle, humility hits harder than a blockbuster. That's what makes Keanu so rare. He's lived through every kind of loss, from childhood abandonment to the deaths of his best friend, his child, and his partner, and never turned bitter. Instead, he turned inward, built his own compass, and somehow, that quiet compass has pointed him toward reinvention again and again. Remember the leather trench coat, the slow-motion bullet dodge, the gravel voice saying, "I know Kung Fu." But what we often forget is the man behind the mythology, the one who studied Buddhism not as a script, but as a guide for living, who still takes the subway in New York, who signs autographs with both hands so no one has to wait long, who made being a good human cool again. Even science couldn't resist honoring him. In 2023, researchers discovered a potent fungus-killing compound so efficient, they named it Keanumycin. The name was more than clever. It was accurate. Like Keanu, the compound was quiet, precise, and surprisingly powerful. He laughed it off with characteristic grace. But the symbolism wasn't lost on fans. Even nature, it seemed, wanted to leave him a tribute. Where does he go from here? At 60, Keanu isn't slowing down. He's shifting gears, with multiple film projects in the works, new writings with Alexandra Grant, and an ever-deepening commitment to philanthropy. The next decade may be his most compelling yet, because Keanu Reeves isn't just an actor. He's a reminder that grief doesn't have to define us, that kindness still matters, and that sometimes the quietest man in the room has the loudest impact. He didn't announce it. He didn't need to. While Hollywood's biggest names were negotiating back-end points, Keanu Reeves quietly slashed his own profit share, just so the visual effects crew on The Matrix Reloaded could get the budget they needed. On another day, he heard a crew member was facing a personal family crisis. By sunset, the man was holding a $20,000 check. No cameras, no interviews, just kindness. That wasn't an isolated act. After wrapping The Matrix sequel in 2003, Keanu gave each of the 12 stuntmen a brand new Harley-Davidson as a thank you gift. Not flashy, meaningful. Fast forward to John Wick, Chapter 4 in 2023, where Keanu auctioned off his signed training jai with director Chad Stahelski and martial artist Dave Camarillo to raise money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. When filming ended, he didn't throw a party. Instead, he handed his stunt team engraved Rolex Submariners and shirts that counted their total on-screen deaths. That's not just generosity, it's personal legacy. By 2024, he inked a one-day contract with the Windsor Spitfires hockey team, raising funds for local mental health programs. It was a move no publicist pushed for. Just another glimpse into a man whose empathy runs deeper than any script he's ever performed. Keanu Reeves is a mystery people never tire of solving. Time magazine once called him the ultimate introvert. Years on set with him and Shia LaBeouf still admitted he didn't really know him. Director Francis Lawrence praised his tireless work ethic, but it was Lawrence Fishburne who, in 2023, stripped away the surface. Kinder than you think. He's gentle. He's brilliant. Hiroyuki Sanada, his John Wick 4 co-star, captured it best. Deeply humble with others, relentlessly hard on himself. He's not just an actor, he's an architect of silence and focus. In 2011, he co-founded Arch Motorcycle Company with Gard Hollinger, producing custom high-performance bikes for elite collectors. He didn't stop there. Keanu later launched company films with friend Stephen Hamill to champion stories outside Hollywood's worn formulas. In 2017, he helped establish Ex-Artists Books with artist Alexandra Grant and Jessica Fleischman, releasing experimental poetry and prose including Ode to Happiness and Shadows. His creativity doesn't follow trends, it follows soul. Remember that viral photo of Keanu sitting alone on a bench, eating a sandwich? The world called it Sad Keanu. Fans turned June 15th into Cheer Up Keanu Day. His response? I was just eating. I was hungry. It's the kind of grounded reply that turned him into the internet's boyfriend. By 2020, major outlets from The Guardian to BBC were calling him Hollywood's nicest guy. Then came the moment that left an entire studio silent. In 2019, during The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, he was asked what happens after we die. His response was quiet, almost whispered, I know the ones who love us will miss us. Social media lit up with memes, but with awe. One simple sentence, universal and unscripted. Still, there's a part of Keanu's story that rarely gets told, the evolution of his wealth and what he's chosen to do with it. Starting from a modest salary of $3,000 in his early acting days, Keanu's career exploded with Speed, Point Break, and The Matrix. By 2024, his estimated net worth had grown to $380 million. But unlike other stars with fleets of Lamborghinis, Reeves built a financial empire rooted in strategy, not flash. Over the years, he's invested heavily in his motorcycle company, which now produces models that retail for over $80,000 each. He owns equity stakes in company films and Ex-Artists Books, creating long-term revenue streams outside acting. Not just spending, he's building. Keanu owns multiple properties, including a serene $8 million compound in the Hollywood Hills and a discreet estate in Honolulu, Hawaii. His real estate portfolio, valued over $50 million, spans from mountain retreats in Idaho to a minimalist condo in New York. And yet, the homes reflect him. Private, calming, never excessive. His car collection is a mix of purpose and performance. His black Porsche 911 Carrera is a staple, but so are his Ducati motorcycles. He's been spotted wearing understated yet powerful luxury watches, like his Rolex Submariner gift series and the occasional Patek Philippe, chosen for craftsmanship, not clout. Even his risk management is intentional. Insiders say Reeves maintains layered insurance coverage, health policies tied to stunt-intensive productions, asset protection for his homes and vehicles, and policies ensuring his businesses can operate independently of his acting schedule. It's wealth wrapped in wisdom. Here's where it gets interesting. Keanu's long-term financial approach is anchored in legacy, not lifestyle. He avoids massive endorsements and prefers equity-based collaborations. He reinvests earnings into his companies, supports causes he believes in, and structures deals to benefit everyone involved, from gaffers to co-producers. Takeaway? You don't need to shout to build an empire. You just need consistency, vision, and heart. By 2025, Reeves is back where fans love him most. He returns in Ballerina, the next John Wick installment, and teams up with Aziz Ansari for Good Fortune. He's stepping into Broadway's Waiting for Godot, and Netflix is adapting BRZRKR, his graphic novel, into both an anime and live-action film. He's also producing a martial arts documentary on Benny the Jet Urquidez, honoring legends while becoming one himself. Through all the triumphs, Keanu has endured his own private storms. Loss of his daughter, death of his partner, heartbreak that could have made anyone retreat. Instead, he leaned into grace, showing the world how to move through grief without letting it harden you. It's this contrast, the megastar who rides the subway, the millionaire who gives quietly, makes Keanu a cultural phenomenon. Doesn't chase relevance, he is relevance. So how does a man, whose journey has been anything but smooth, continue to be the emotional glue of Hollywood? Do his quiet acts echo louder than million-dollar speeches? 'Cause in a world of noise, Keanu Reeves reminds us that silence, when paired with substance, is a superpower. What does his story teach us? That financial security comes from patience and smart investment. Reputation is earned by what you do when no one's watching. And that legacy isn't built through fame, but through values. What are your thoughts on this extraordinary man's journey? Leave a comment, share your take, and if you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe. There's more where this came from.